There are a few different ways to describe what has made this Trump administration stand out, and none of them are flattering. Some critics argue it has become one of the most chaotic and controversial administrations in modern political history, while others say the most unsettling moments are the ones that happen both in public and behind closed doors. One particular video has exploded across social media because viewers cannot stop talking about how awkward and uncomfortable it is to watch from beginning to end. Before we break everything down and look at why this clip is getting so much attention, take a second to like this video if you enjoy this kind of political commentary, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future coverage. The clip we're about to examine was later defended by White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt in a way that left many people scratching their heads. But to understand why her response sparked so much debate, we first need to look at the Fox News appearance that set the stage for everything that followed.
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Hidden Truth. If you enjoy uncovering hidden stories, breaking news, and fascinating facts, and turn on notifications, thank you for your amazing support late.
As a result of the president saying it's either going to be free or fair trade or reciprocal tariffs, they all want to come to the table. They all want a deal. And I'm told that deal number one is close to being finished. Is that true?
It is true. We believe that there could be several deals very soon. More than 75 countries have reached out to the administration. More than 15 offers are on the table. And the president's trade team and the president himself are working very hard to negotiate tailor-made trade deals with every country that has reached out. No other president has had the courage to fully use the leverage of the United States of America, not just our economic might, but our military and national security might as well. And, I was asked an interesting question earlier this week by a reporter at Fake News CNN. She said at the premise of her question, Karoline, the whole world is on notice because of what President Trump is doing. And I said to her, that's exactly the point. The world is on notice. The world is finally realizing that under this president, the United States of America is not going to be taken advantage of.
If there were ever a textbook example of defending something that many people believe is impossible to justify, critics say this was it. That is the position Karoline Leavitt found herself in as she attempted to explain the administration's economic strategy. Supporters pointed to small movements in the stock market as evidence that the tariff policy was working, but opponents argued that those gains were limited and failed to recover earlier losses. Even so, Leavitt continued promoting the message that other countries were eager to strike new trade agreements with the United States, a claim that many analysts and critics strongly disputed, making her defense one of the most talked about moments of the interview.
The rest of the world is calling our administration. The phones are ringing off the hook because they need the United States of America, not just our economy and our market, but they need us to continue providing peace around this world. And they know that they are indebted to us for the stability that we have provided in their own countries for decades. And the president has made that very clear, that the American people are finally going to have the front seat at the table. And thank God for it.
According to many observers, the Trump administration has been facing growing internal pressure, with reports of confusion and uncertainty surrounding several major decisions. Despite that atmosphere, Karoline Leavitt continued presenting an image of confidence, insisting that America's standing on the world stage remains strong and respected. Critics pushed back against that message, arguing that the administration's optimistic narrative mainly resonated with Trump's most loyal supporters, while many others viewed events very differently. Those same critics also pointed to a cabinet meeting that produced the now widely discussed video, the very clip Leavitt later stepped forward to defend, despite the backlash it received.
Cabinet.
Under your leadership, we are going to revitalize and make shipbuilding and maritime great again.
At the Trump EPA, we're going to make you proud.
The honor and respect we have for each other is a reflection of you and your leadership.
Thanks to your leadership.
You were overwhelmingly elected by the biggest majority.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for your leadership at the border.
Thanks to your fantastic leadership.
So the American worker is grateful. Main Street is grateful for you.
For many viewers, the most striking part of the footage was how unusually complimentary several officials appeared toward Donald Trump, creating moments that critics described as deeply uncomfortable to watch. The repeated praise fueled fresh debate over whether the president expects constant public approval from those around him, something opponents have argued for years. As those conversations spread online, Karoline Leavitt attempted to dismiss the criticism during her Fox News appearance, offering an explanation that many commentators quickly challenged and labeled misleading, adding even more attention to a controversy that was already dominating political discussion.
The president invited the press into the meeting where he went around the table and instructed each and every one of his cabinet secretaries to provide an honest update about what they are doing at their respective agencies. And every cabinet secretary is a rock star. They are passionate about the issues they are leading on, and they are delivering on exactly what President Trump called upon them to do. There is so much good news flowing out of this administration every day. It's definitely hard for the media to keep up with. They don't know how to cover this administration. They are grasping at straws, and it's easy to talk to the press every day because President Trump is doing exactly what he promised the American people he would do, and there are wins after wins after wins every single week.
One recent example that critics frequently bring up involves reporting highlighted by Rachel Maddow concerning Linda McMahon. The segment quickly gained attention because of the claims it raised and the questions it prompted about what was happening behind the scenes. As more people watched the report, the discussion expanded beyond the original story, with political commentators debating what the reporting could reveal about the administration's broader approach. Whether viewers agreed with the conclusions or not, the coverage became another major talking point that added fuel to an already heated political conversation.
You may recall that Trump appointed a pro wrestling executive named Linda to be the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, right? Turned out to be a weird job because both she and Donald Trump say that her job as Secretary of Education is to shut down the Department of Education. Kind of a strange job. Still, though, Linda McMahon, Trump's education secretary, found time in her busy schedule to go to a conference this week, a conference on artificial intelligence and American education. It's a whole conference about AI. Artificial intelligence, AI. That's what we call it, right? AI. AI. Unless you're Trump's education secretary. In case that abbreviation, AI, turns out that's a really hard one.
I heard, I think it was a letter or a report that I heard this morning, I wish I could remember the source, but that there is a school system that's going to start making sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, every year starting, that far down in the grades. And that's just that's a wonderful thing.
You see the other people on stage with her going, she's the Secretary of Education. She's talking, wait, what are we talking about here?
Sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, every year starting, that far down in the grades. And that's just that's a wonderful thing. Kids are sponges. They just absorb everything. And so it wasn't all that long ago that we're going to have internet in our schools. Woo. Now, okay, let's see A1 and how can that be helpful?
Now, I myself, I love me some A1. It's tangy. It really brings out the best in a steak or whatever. But A1, I mean, it's not like an education term of art, like K-12 or something, right? Or pre-K. You know what I mean? Like A1 is a whole different thing.
Internet in our schools. Woo. Now, okay, let's see A1 and how can that be helpful?
How can that be helpful? How can that be helpful? So this is an anagram that you spell out. It's not like NASA, where you don't say NASA, you just pronounce the anagram as if it's a word. This is the whole anagram spelled out. It's artificial intelligence, A and then I, AI, and she cannot spell that. So now we've got tangy, salty A1 in all the schools. And that will somehow be facilitated by abolishing the U.S. Department of Education, which, it'll be delicious. I mean, I can't. Everything they're doing is so terrible. I'm sorry. I mean, we're going to be talking tonight about Social Security. We now know that one of the reasons, apparently, that they are tanking Social Security and destroying that agency and making it unusable and no longer functional for the people who depend on Social Security every month is apparently because they're stripping it down for parts. While Social Security recipients have not been able to get through to Social Security either on the phone or online or in person, and people are starting to miss Social Security checks, and they're firing thousands of people who work at Social Security. So we can't get people their checks anymore, but Social Security Administration data systems are being used to target immigrants by having the Social Security system declare immigrants dead in order to mess with them and make it impossible for them to live. I mean, that's a thing that they're doing.
During a Fox News appearance, Karoline Leavitt argued that rising gas prices were tied to policies from the Biden administration, but critics immediately challenged that timeline. Political commentator Jack Cucchiarella responded by examining the sequence of events frame by frame, arguing that the increase in fuel prices followed developments that occurred after President Trump escalated military action involving Iran rather than before. Although he does not serve as a senator or television anchor, his detailed breakdown attracted widespread attention because he focused on moments that he believed had been omitted from the official explanation. Critics argued that the issue went beyond ordinary political messaging, claiming it reflected a press secretary shielding the president from accountability, while some legal commentators suggested the controversy raised questions that extended beyond politics into broader concerns about public responsibility. If you want more detailed breakdowns of stories like this and coverage that follows every major development, make sure to subscribe because these conversations are changing almost every day.